Gustav Elijah R. Yase Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, Jared Anthony Higgins. Three names that, at first glance, might sound unfamiliar. But say Lil Peep, xxxtentacion, and Juice WRLD, and suddenly you're talking about three of the most influential voices of their generation. Each of them connected with millions of listeners in a way that felt deeply personal. Their music wasn't just entertainment, it was emotion, vulnerability, and sometimes a cry for help. But despite their success, all three shared something else in common. Their lives were painfully short. To understand why their stories resonate so strongly, we have to look beyond the headlines and explore where they came from. Let's start with Lil Peep. Born in 1996, Gustav grew up in a household where creativity was encouraged. But like many young people, he struggled with feelings of isolation. He gravitated toward music early, finding comfort in alternative rock bands before discovering hip-hop. When he began making his own songs, he didn't try to fit into one box. Instead, he blended melodic rap with emotional themes that spoke openly about heartbreak, loneliness, and inner conflict. Recording music from his bedroom, he slowly built an online following. Fans were drawn to how honest he sounded, like someone putting their real thoughts into every lyric. As his popularity grew, so did his unique style. Tattoos, bold fashion choices, and a distinctive sound made him stand out in a crowded scene. But rapid success can be overwhelming. Touring schedules, constant attention, and the pressure to keep creating began to take a toll. Despite the challenges, his music continued to reach new audiences, turning him into a defining figure of the emerging emo rap movement. As their careers continued to rise, each of their stories took a tragic turn that left fans around the world in shock. Lil Peep's passing came first. By 2017, his schedule had become intense. Touring across cities, constant travel, late nights, and the pressures of success created an exhausting routine. Despite the excitement of performing for thousands of fans, those close to him often noticed how drained he seemed. On a November night while on tour, Peep was on his bus preparing for another show. At some point, he fell asleep. Or at least, that's what everyone thought. Hours later, when people tried to wake him, they realized something was wrong. Emergency services were called, but it was too late. Reports later confirmed that he had suffered an accidental overdose involving substances that were unknowingly contaminated with fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid. The news devastated fans and sparked conversations about the dangers of counterfeit pills and the pressures artists face while constantly on the road. Just months later, another tragedy unfolded. Then there's xxxtentacion. Born in 1998, Yase's early life was marked by instability. He often spoke about feeling misunderstood and dealing with intense emotions from a young age. Music became an outlet, a way to express anger, sadness, and everything in between. What made him unique was his willingness to experiment. One moment he could deliver aggressive energy, and the next he'd release deeply introspective songs. His breakout track gained massive attention online, and soon he found himself at the center of a rapidly growing fan base. But with fame came scrutiny. His life was often discussed publicly, and he faced challenges that made his journey even more complicated. Over time, he began talking about personal growth and the importance of making positive changes. Many fans saw him evolving, trying to redefine himself. In June 2018, xxxtentacion was in Florida running errands, including visiting a motorcycle dealership. Surveillance footage later showed individuals watching him as he prepared to leave. As he drove away, he was confronted during what authorities described as a robbery. In the encounter that followed, he was shot and later pronounced dead at the hospital. The suddenness of the event stunned the music world. Fans gathered at memorials, streaming his music in tribute, while discussions about his complex legacy filled social media. Finally, we have Juice WRLD. Born in Chicago in 1998, Jared showed musical talent early, learning instruments and developing a natural ear for melody. He became known for his ability to freestyle for long periods, creating songs that felt spontaneous yet deeply emotional. His breakthrough came when a song about heartbreak resonated with listeners worldwide. Suddenly, he was one of the most talked about artists in music. Juice often spoke about mental health, relationships, and the pressures of fame, themes that connected strongly with younger audiences. As his career accelerated, he collaborated with major artists, toured internationally, and continued releasing music at a remarkable pace. Despite their different backgrounds, all three artists shared a rare ability. They spoke honestly about feelings many people struggle to articulate. Their songs became soundtracks for listeners navigating their own challenges, creating bonds that went far beyond traditional fan relationships. When news of their passing spread, it sent shockwaves through the music world. Fans mourned not just the loss of artists, but of voices that felt like companions during difficult times. Then came the loss of Juice WRLD. By late 2019, he was one of the biggest artists in the world. His music dominated charts, and he had just finished a busy period of travel. In December, shortly after arriving at an airport in Chicago, he experienced a medical emergency. Despite efforts to help him, he later passed away at a hospital. Authorities reported that his death was related to an accidental overdose involving multiple substances. The news hit particularly hard because many fans had followed his openness about personal struggles through his music. Each of these losses felt like more than just headlines. For millions of listeners, it felt personal, as if voices that helped them through difficult moments were suddenly gone. Their deaths also sparked broader conversations about mental health, substance use, and the intense pressures placed on young artists navigating fame at such an early stage in life. Even today, fans continue to revisit their music, not only to remember them, but to reflect on the emotions and messages they shared. Even now, years later, their influence remains visible. New artists cite them as inspirations, and their music continues to reach new generations. Their stories also spark important conversations about mental health, the pressures of success, and the importance of support systems. Perhaps their greatest legacy is the reminder that music can connect people in profound ways, offering comfort, understanding, and a sense of community. While their journeys ended too soon, the impact they left behind continues to echo through playlists, memories, and the countless listeners who found meaning in their words. Three artists, three unique paths, one lasting influence that continues to shape modern music.